Hey guys, okay, so in today's vlog, I would like to talk about how to predict timelines. Like, how is it possible to predict when things are gonna happen in your own future? Now, disclaimer here is that you have to have, in order to predict timelines, you have to have a more spiritual practice, spiritual base, and not be more fear and ego in your subconscious mind. What I mean by that is the fear, ego, we're all intuitive. Let's just get down to, okay, so predictions mainly we think are made by psychics, right? That's not true. Everybody on this earth is, and animals are psychic. Being psychic comes from your intuition. That's all it is. Your gut feeling, your chakras opening up, start communicating with each other, all of the meridians in your body. And when you don't have a lot of childhood garbage, a lot of shadows in your subconscious mind that you're holding on to, what happens is this intuition actually goes up and right into your pineal gland, which is located right inside, in this area here. So from here to here, it's right in the middle. Now, the pineal gland looks a little bit like an acorn. I'll give you an example. If you've ever experienced your ears ringing in meditation, or when you're laying in bed and before you go to bed, you begin to experience that ringing in your ears, what that means is that your pineal gland is active. It's vibrating. So it looks like an acorn, smaller, like a small acorn, and when you decalcify it, so imagine an acorn, and over the years, your ego is built from childhood on to adulthood, that acorn calcifies. So your ego encases it with a hard shell. Therefore, the pineal gland is unable to move. When you begin your spiritual journey and you begin to have faith and open up those channels that have been closed for so long, and you begin to tap into your subconscious mind and start to work on your ugly, do your shadow work, have faith, understand presence and awareness, that pineal gland begins, even if it's tightly woven into your ego's ugliness, the pineal gland through your chakras, through your heart chakra especially, which is love, will send it energy, and it's going to start vibrating just a little bit. It begins by just a tad. And as your spiritual practice and your chakras and meridians begin to open up more, and you begin to have more faith, understand the higher self, just as you acquire this knowledge and practice it and start feeling better, that pineal gland begins to vibrate more. And what happens over time is it completely decalcifies. So all of that hard shell around goes away. And once that happens and you have an active pineal gland, and one of the examples of that the pineal gland has been activated is ringing in your ears. So when you hear, I often want to do travel. I do a lot of just soul travel, and I just do a lot of visualizations, listen to mantras before bed. So what will happen is my ears will start ringing. That's when I know that my pineal gland is activated. Once that pineal gland is activated, I begin to bring up that energy, and I start just meditating, letting things go. And if I want to do a soul travel that night, that is the time where I will just lay still in bed and just let that pineal gland get louder and louder and louder. And sometimes it's uncomfortable, but you'll get over that uncomfortable feeling. So once that pineal gland is activated, that means like your intuition is on a high. So going back to, that's how we're all intuitive. We're all beings, and that's your ego will either you're going to have faith in something else, or your ego, you just have a heavy ego and fear takes over. Then you're not using your intuition and your psychic abilities. If you're able to use your psychic abilities over time, once you start following every gut feeling, I started doing that like 6 years ago, and I put it on my vision board. Now I don't even question it. I follow every gut feeling, from like, if I put the salt away, and I get a feeling, oh, I should add more salt, I won't question it. I'll just pick it up and add some more salt. Never have I gone wrong. Every time I follow that gut feeling. In fact, when I don't follow the gut feeling, things usually go wrong. Okay, so timelines. What happened with me was I began to understand my timelines from my body. This began to happen when I put my mind, my soul, and my body, I gave them all balance. I gave them the same level of respect. Mind, body, and soul. So once I got all these energies working together and swirling and working together, I began to notice, like, I began to see, like, if I had, let's say, scratched myself, and you know when a scratch is healing, I looked at that scratch one day and I was like, oh, this is gonna happen once. Like, whatever I wanted in the future, I wanted, let's say I wanted a business meeting to happen. I was trying to attract a contract into my life. And I knew when I saw that scratch, my intuition told me, once that scratch heals, that person is coming into your life, and that person is going to be in your life as a business contract for a very long time. That thought was my intuition. It just came to me. I wasn't even thinking of that. So that is exactly what happened. Once my scratch completely healed, that person came into my life. So when you begin to use what your physical body is telling you, your soul is telling you, and your soul comes through your crown chakra, right? So you have to use your mind as well. It's really, obviously it's important. So that is one way to tell and predict timelines. Use your body. The second way to predict timelines is you can, in your vision, you will see yourself a certain way. So in the future, I have another person that I really want to meet. I don't know, I've just always wanted to meet them. And in my mind's eye, in my vision, I look a certain way. And I know in order to get to look that way, it's gonna take me 3, maybe 4 months max, because my goals are really high and I know what I look like. And even I was attracting like teaching jobs, and those jobs I knew were gonna come when I began to work on my body to look a certain way, and they have already come. I've already attracted them. And I know from my vision of how I look that those jobs are just going to become more and more abundant. I'm going to learn more and more. And once I look that way, that's probably going to be the full abundance of it. And if I want even more, that's going to be the time for me to manifest it. So that is a way that you can use timelines to predict your future. You have to have faith in your intuition and your ability just to know that there's something else above you. And once they start communicating to you, then you're going to start getting the visions and the thoughts. And the thoughts, like I said, will give you guidance, like on your body. If you have a scar, like I did, once that heals, this is going to happen. Or if you have a vision of yourself, and with that vision, the thought comes, that's when you're going to be able to achieve it. There's still some learning. There's still some time in between. So I hope that helps. That is how you tell timelines. If you guys practice spirituality, Wicca, whatever you want to call it, and you have a different guideline of telling timelines, please comment below. Love you guys. Bye.